Not every transfer has to happen. Have you ever wondered what was going through the heads of the players and clubs when some transfers were made? Well, today, get ready for our list of the 10 biggest transfers that were absolutely not needed. We're talking about high-profile players like Mané, Hazard, and others who didn't fit, huge fees that weren't worth it, and why these deals were head-scratchers from the start. Starting from number 1 is Real Madrid's Kylian Mbappe. 1. Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe's move to Real Madrid was the talk of the summer. But did they really need him? Real Madrid has been dominating Europe with 3 Champions League wins since Mbappe began his career. They already have strong players like Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, who play excellently on the left wing. Adding Mbappe might just pile on unnecessary power. Even though Mbappe's transfer didn't have a direct fee, the €100 million sign-on bonus is a huge expense, with Rodrigo shining in big matches and Vinicius potentially winning the Ballon d'Or. Mbappe has been struggling to fit in. His arrival seems to have only messed up the team's current good vibes and rhythm, and we can see that already. He even went 3 games without registering a goal or an assist, and if not for the penalty Vinicius allowed him to take to boost his confidence, maybe he would not have scored that second goal against Real Betis. In short, no doubt, Mbappe is a fantastic player, but with Real Madrid already having top talent in those positions, he would have been better off at PSG or another top club. Next is Mbappe's former teammate at PSG. 2. Neymar. Neymar's move to Al Hilal has raised a lot of questions. First off, Al Hilal was already a top team in Saudi Arabian football. They won the domestic treble in 2020 and continue to do well, even winning another treble in 2024. This shows they had a strong squad before Neymar arrived. Spending €90 million on Neymar seems a bit much for a team that was already doing great. Plus, his reported salary of €150 million per year is really high. Neymar's transfer fee and salary are huge, especially when you consider his injury problems. He's often sidelined, and he hasn't always been on the field to help the team. So, of course, Neymar is a great player. His move to Al Hilal wasn't necessary or wise, considering their strong performance without him and the big costs involved. The same can be said for Jack Grealish when he moved from Aston Villa to Man City. 3. Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish's big move money to Manchester City in 2021 has been going under the radar. Before Grealish arrived, Manchester City already had talented players on the left wing like Raheem Sterling and Phil Foden. They also had players who could step in when needed, so spending a massive £100 million on Grealish was just excessive. No doubt, Grealish had an impressive season with Aston Villa right before joining Man City, which partly justified his high price. However, he hasn't lived up to that price tag at Manchester City. Despite being a decent player, he hasn't made a huge impact yet, and there are even rumours that City might be considering selling him. In hindsight, Manchester City had a strong squad already, and spending so much on Grealish might not have been the best decision. Just like Real Madrid spent a lot of money on Hazard in transfer fees, add-ons, and bonuses, only for him to be their biggest flop. 4. Eden Hazard. Today, people still talk about Hazard's move to Real Madrid in 2019. Madrid brought him in to fill in the gap left by Cristiano Ronaldo. However, Hazard's playing style and position were quite different from Ronaldo's. Ronaldo thrived as a right-footed left winger, known for his incredible scoring ability and athleticism. Hazard is a right-footed playmaker who shines in dribbling and creating opportunities for others. This mismatch in styles created an initial challenge. Before Hazard's arrival, Real Madrid had a rising star in Vinicius Jr. The young winger was showing significant promise and had the potential to become a major player for the team. Many felt that investing in Hazard, who was already established but older, might have been an unnecessary gamble when they already had a young talent ready to step up. Unfortunately, Hazard's time at Madrid was plagued by injuries. These injuries kept him off the pitch and significantly limited his contributions. He struggled to replicate the form he had shown at Chelsea. The expectations for him to perform were high, but Hazard's move did not deliver the impact many people had hoped for. Just like Lukaku wasn't the solution to Chelsea's number 9 problems. 5. Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku's move back to Chelsea in 2021 raised a lot of eyebrows. and for good reason. First, Chelsea had just won the Champions League and were performing like a well-oiled machine. They had a solid team and didn't necessarily need a big traditional striker like Lukaku. Their style of play favoured more mobile attackers who could contribute to build up play rather than relying on a single target man. Before his return to the Premier League, Lukaku had a good spell in Italy with Inter Milan, but he hadn't exactly taken the PL by storm in his previous seasons then. Spending £97.5 million on him was a big gamble, especially since it wasn't certain he would fit into Chelsea's playing style. As it turned out, the gamble didn't pay off. Lukaku struggled to find his form and adapt to Chelsea's system. His time at the club was marked by inconsistent performances, and just a year later he was loaned out. Lukaku's move to Chelsea might have surprised many, but it also showed how risky big transfers can be, especially when the player isn't the right fit. The same thing can be said for Sadio Mané. 6. Mané. Sadio Mané's move to Bayern Munich in 2022 was unexpected and, in many ways, didn't quite make sense. Mané had been a crucial part of Liverpool's attack, where his speed and dribbling were key to their success. Losing him left Liverpool with a significant gap in their attack. On the other hand, Bayern Munich had just lost Robert Lewandowski, a world-class striker. However, Mané is more of a winger and a creator than a central striker. Trying to replace Lewandowski with Mané, who plays a different role, seemed like a mismatch. At Bayern, Mané struggled to adapt to the central role, and the team's style of play didn't fit his strengths. He had a difficult season as a result of this. After just one season, Mané moved to the Saudi Pro League to play alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. The next player is from Atletico Madrid. You guessed right, it's Antoine Greizmann. 7. Antoine Greizmann. Antoine Griezmann's move to Barcelona in 2019 is still puzzling to many football fans. Barcelona spent a huge amount of money to bring Griezmann in, but his arrival didn't quite work out as expected. Barcelona's playing style was centered around quick passing and teamwork, with Lionel Messi as the star player leading the attack. Messi's role involved roaming around and creating chances, which is something Griezmann also liked to do. The problem was that Messi was already doing this role exceptionally well. With both players wanting to operate in similar areas, it was hard for them to coexist effectively on the pitch. Barcelona also had Luis Suarez, another top forward, which made it unclear where Griezmann would fit into the team's setup. Maybe Barcelona was hoping that Griezmann would eventually take over from Messi as he got older, but clearly things didn't work out as planned. Griezmann struggled to reach the same level he had at Atletico Madrid, and his style of play never fully integrated with Barcelona's system. Talking about Barcelona's unnecessary signings, another player that didn't live up to expectations and shouldn't have been signed in the first place was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. 8. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Barcelona didn't need Zlatan. This was clear for everyone to see, but Barcelona still went ahead for him. First, Barcelona had just enjoyed a phenomenal season with their previous striker, Samuel Eto'o, who had scored plenty of goals and seamlessly fit into the team's style. The team had just won everything, including the Champions League, so bringing in another big striker like Ibrahimovic seemed unnecessary. No doubt, Ibrahimovic is a superstar. Many know him for his confidence and desire to be the main man on the pitch, but Barcelona already had Lionel Messi, who was their most important player and also excelled in leading the attack. Combining two strong personalities with big egos like Ibrahimovic and Messi created some tension. Many worried that their styles and ambitions might clash. But mostly, Ibrahimovic wasn't suited to the tiki-taka system, and as expected, the partnership didn't work out well. Ibrahimovic struggled to fit into Barcelona's playing style, and both he and the team ended up unhappy with the whole arrangement. Meanwhile, Eto'o went on to win another treble with Inter Milan the following year. On to the next. 9. Luka Jovic. Luka Jovic moving to Real Madrid in 2019 was a needless transfer, especially looking at how things turned out. First off, Real Madrid already had Karim Benzema, a top-class striker who had been scoring goals consistently for years. Benzema's style involved a lot of movement and playmaking, not just finishing crosses. In contrast, Jovic was more of a traditional target man, known for his heading and finishing abilities. Jovic was young and still proving himself, even though he had a strong season in Germany before moving. The leap to a giant club like Real Madrid can be overwhelming for any player. The expectations and competition are intense, but not everyone can handle that pressure. Unfortunately, Jovic struggled to adapt to Real Madrid's style and found it hard to get regular playing time. His scoring form didn't translate well, and after a few loan spells, he eventually left the club. Maybe moving to Real Madrid came a bit too early in his career, and the fit just wasn't right. The next player is as inexperienced as Luka Jovic was at the time he moved to Real Madrid, and this brings us to the 10th player on the list. Estevao Willian. 10. Estevao Willian. Chelsea is known for bringing in talented Brazilian players, and Estevao was one of their signings. But as talented as Estevao is, Chelsea shouldn't have gone for him for a couple of reasons. First, Chelsea already have a number of promising young wingers on their roster, players like Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke and Kendry Páez. All 22 or younger were already making waves and showing great potential. Adding another young winger to this mix in the same position is just redundant. Sure, Estevao might be a great talent, but Chelsea already had enough players in that position. Second, with so many young wingers in the squad, it's unclear where Estevao would fit in and get regular playing time. The competition for spots would make it tough for him to shine and develop his skills properly. In hindsight, Chelsea would have been better off using their resources to strengthen other areas of their team, rather than adding another player to a crowded position. And that's it, guys. 10 of the biggest transfers that were absolutely not needed. Which other big transfer didn't make it onto this list? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you'd like more football content such as this, click that like or the subscribe button. See you in the next video.